Okay, so you're going to use Tinkercad to make your food truck design. So I'm going to click sign in because I already have an account. You're going to follow the directions on your checklist to do join now. And then after the first time you join, you'll be clicking sign in each time. So I'm going to sign in. I'm signing in with Google. So if you are working in a group, each of you is going to go through this. You're going to create your own account, and then one of you is going to share it with the others. You're going to create a link to share it. You're going to put it in a Google Doc so everybody can access it, and that's how you're going to all be able to work on it. So I'm going to create a new design. Okay, so Tinkercad is a 3D program. A lot of times it's used for actually 3D printers. So the first thing you're going to do is name it because the program gives it these funny names and stuff. So you're just going to change the name. And I'm going to call mine food truck. You can call it food truck or the name of your food truck, whatever it is. Okay, and then what I was saying before about one of you creating it, you're going to invite people. Okay, you're going to generate a link. You're going to copy that link. Then you're going to go to a Google Doc, paste it in there, and share the Google Doc with your group members. And then each time you go back in, you're going to go in through that link. Okay? So 3D programs, this works is a plane, right? So right here is how you move around. So if you kind of move, you can see, if you think of it like the ground, like that's eye level, and you're going to be tilting and moving. So this program is going to involve a lot of moving around like this and kind of tilting to see from different angles. Okay, so I'll just kind of start where it was. And if you kind of get like pushed back, because if you notice I'm zooming out and in and kind of get moved around, you can always just hit the home button. It'll bring you back to the way it was when you started. These buttons you can zoom in and out, or you can use 2 fingers on a Chromebook, or your wheel if you're using the mouse. So everything is going to be done with shapes. So basic shapes, get that back. All right, so you're going to have different shapes. And let's say for the main part of your truck, you're going to use a box. So you're going to click, you're going to drag and put it onto your plane. So see what I mean about having to move, like you can't really see the whole, right? So I'm going to do that. Okay, so there's different handles, and as you see, there's different like ways of moving, different things show up. So there's a lot of things you can do with this. So you can resize the box, right? So like make it more of a rectangle if that's maybe going to be my truck part. Okay, this little arrow here is to raise it off the ground. So if you adjust this and look, it's flat on the ground right now. I need to pick that up so I can put wheels on it, right? So I need to click on that, click and pull up, and now it's kind of like floating in the air. See, so then you can put things that you need to put underneath it. Okay, the other things you can do is rotate. So all of these, see how that you'll get that whole, if you want to rotate it like this way, all right, and then if you go over here, there's a rotating for this way. So it just depends what you want to rotate up and down that way. Okay, so, and then once you move it where you want, you might have to kind of keep adjusting to see it. The other thing you can do is like making it flatter, like maybe you want a panel like that. I'm going to go back to what I had because that's going to be like my main part of the truck. Okay, and then I'm going to kind of maybe go sort of angled like this and try to zoom in. I'm going to click and drag to move over on the plane. Okay. So you'll also notice in here there are other shapes. Okay, so you can find like this for the wheels, and then you can rotate it. Right, so if you click this and put it in there, and you can change the color. So let's say I'm going to make it black to be the wheels. Okay, and then I will rotate it this way so it'll look like a wheel. Okay, and then kind of move it to where you need it, right? And then kind of adjust, right? So you kind of get the idea of that. There are also letters and other shapes and things that you may use for part of your design, like on the food truck. Okay, so if you click here, text and numbers. So if you want to use that for your sign, either on top or on the side, however you're going to do it. I'm going to go back to basic shapes. Okay, so I'm going to click back on this shape that I made because this is a box, but it's not hollow, like there's nothing inside there. So you notice that there's something called hole. If you click on hole, then it makes it transparent. I don't want the whole thing transparent, right? So I'm going to have to kind of keep it solid. And then what you're going to do is, I'm actually going to take this and I'm going to do Control C to copy it, Control V and paste it, and then I'm going to move one over, and I'm going to make this one hollow. Then you have to kind of put it inside. Like, see how it's changing? Resize it to make it a little smaller to fit inside, and maybe do that, and then kind of look from here and change it for the sizing that you want. So let's say that's the side that's going to be open to the window, maybe the serving window. And I actually don't have it all the way yet. So I will either move it and then expand that way. Stretch it out to make it wider. And come around. I still don't actually have it. There we go. And you have to kind of change the sizing of it and all of that to get it to be an actual open window. Okay, so hole. And okay, that's going to take a lot of maneuvering and playing around with to get it properly to be correct for the open space. So once you have this all set up where you want, you need to group these two so it'll actually cut the hole in there. So I'm going to click off for a minute so you can see I'm not clicked on anything. Okay, and then I'm going to click on the one box. I'm going to hold the Shift key to click on the second box, and then I can group. So up here is group. Takes a minute, and now you'll see there's actually a hole. Okay, so now you can see inside that truck. Okay, and that's how you will decorate and put things inside and outside. Okay, one more thing that you can do is the scribble tool. So if you can't find a shape for something that you want, you can click on the scribble tool, drag it over, and then it will open up this other little window. So you can free draw what you want here. So let's say there is something that has to do with your theme, or maybe something that's kind of hard to make. Like let's say you have a taco, right? And you want to make like a taco shell. So you can kind of draw this way. And then if you connect it, you can make as many ways as you want. Now you can see over here, it's a 3D hollow taco. You could color the whole thing in. If there's something else you wanted to put in there, yeah, you can, but let's just say like I'm going to use this as a ramp, right? So when I'm done, I click done over here, and now it put it into my drawing. Now you can't see the other stuff. I'm going to hit so you can see where it is. There it is, right? So now I'm going to zoom in to it, and I'm going to kind of move around. And maybe this is something that you're putting inside your truck or outside, however you're going to resize it. But let's click on this, and let's say that I want to like put it up on its side. So I have to move around so I can see that arrow, and here it is, right? So that I can like kind of stand it up. You can move it around. Okay, so using that scribble tool, you can make anything or any shape you want that you can't find in here. Okay, so you're going to use a combination of all of these shapes, scribble tools, a text. You're going to create your truck. You're going to put your stuff that's on the inside. If you want to decorate the outside with like picnic tables or your awning or whatever you would put over this. And then you're also going to make sure you have your theme and all of that on here. Depending on what your logo is, you may be able to recreate it. If not, you can import it. If not, it doesn't actually have to be on your truck. All right, so give it a try, play around with it, have fun, and be creative.